What's up, traders? Andrew O'Connell here with Pristine Capital. Welcome to your market recap video. It is September 15th of 2022, day 21 of the sell-off team. If you're managing to stay afloat, you're keeping your wits about you, you're not ready to throw in the towel, I'd say you're doing pretty good. S&P 500 finished down on the session, down 1.14%. Our NASDAQ QQQ was down a whopping 1.67%. IWM small caps we're down 0.73%. Our dogs of the Dow down 0.54%. And our ARK Innovation ETF actually finished out the day positive 2.19%. We did have an expansion in volatility, but barely anything considering how large some of these declines were. Almost everything closed towards the lows of the day. Small cap breadth was not too bad at 43%. And you can see we had up volume 33.4% in totality. The trend model remains at a -3. This thing has really been helping us out because when the trend model's at a -3, remember as we mentioned yesterday, it's all about prioritizing defense and just making sure that your drawdown control is on point. It's a lot tougher when you're like focused on like I need to make a ton of money when the market's just getting crushed. You can really get yourself in a pickle. But yeah, for us it's been, relatively smooth sailing. Economic data. Today we got retail sales that came in slightly hotter than expected, which is exactly what the market does not want to see because the market wants to see signs that either A, inflation is slowing, that's the best case scenario, or B, the economy is slowing because people generally believe that the slower the economy gets, the slower inflation will get as well. We had our Fed manufacturing index that came in below estimates, initial jobless claims also below estimates, and yeah, that was pretty much it. Retail sales also below estimates. Tomorrow we are going to have Michigan consumer sentiment. It's going to be coming out at 10 o'clock a.m. So definitely keep a watchful eye out for that. But TGIF, we all made it to Friday. Finviz heat map. Apple and Microsoft were definitely laggards for today. And remember, these stocks together make up about 13% of the S&P 500. We also had some weakness in Google, Amazon. Tesla was definitely the shining star. That was pretty significantly green for the better part of the day. Netflix as well. Energy stocks really got crushed once again. These stocks keep having these, head fakes, and we're really not getting a nice trending move in energy like we had done, in the first half of the year. Sectors. We have Dirty Energy in our top momentum slot. Obviously, that was a big loser today, though. Gold miners were a big loser, down 2.98%. Where was the strength today? Well, the strength was actually in innovation stocks, the ARK Genomics Fund, and regional banks. You can see European financial banks were also positive as well. But yeah, very tough tape to trade. Very red action for the most part across the board. Style factors. This is kind of interesting. We had the high beta style factor down 0.75%. Biggest loser was Minvol down 1.16%. Growth was down 1.46%, and quality down 1.41%. Not typically what you see. Usually you see like the quality stocks hanging in there and maybe high beta that's getting absolutely demolished. In terms of common stock trades, what did we do today? No stock trades. I was on some Twitter Spaces earlier today. I gotta say, like, it's tough when you're trying to make $1 million every day, no matter what the market is doing, and you're trying to play like every little wiggle in the market. We are primarily swing traders and position traders. Every once in a while, I do a little bit of day trading, like you saw me day trade TARK yesterday. And when the conditions are this poor, for the most part, I want to be just kind of sitting on the sidelines and relaxing. Options trades. We did take some put options. We sold the CFVI October 21st 10 strike puts, collected $1.45 in premium for that. CFVI, it's a SPAC that is merging with the company Rumble. Rumble is essentially like a censorship resistant YouTube, and we sold those put options. So I'll be buying some CFVI if and when the price goes below the 10 strike, and I'm going to have a cost basis of $8.55. Also closed out the SPY November 18th 395 put options that we put on yesterday for $18.50. We had paid $15.58 for those. I closed those out towards the end of the day. Let's take a quick look at Rumble real quick, CFVI. I think this is a pretty interesting opportunity. So this is a name that I really wanted to participate in, but the stock kind of got away from me, not gonna lie. And they announced that the merger is indeed going to go through, and it was a sell the news event. And if you're already in this stock, maybe you think it's like, oh my gosh, it's the worst thing ever. Like, they sold into the news. But for me, it's like I would like to get a position on in this company. I do think this could really be a theme, and this company could really go places. And so by selling the 10 strike puts, I was able to take in a pretty nice premium. And again, I'll be buying the stock if it goes down below 10. My cost basis will be 855. Has the stock ever been at 855 even during the worst market volatility? Nope. Could it go to 855? Yeah, it certainly could now that it's going to de-SPAC. But yeah, I really like this trade because we were able to take in a lot of premium for that. What else did we do? That was it. Those were the only two trades doing this CFVI put sale and then closing out some SPY put options. Let's take a look at the S&P 500, see how things are shaking out. We did get some FedEx pre-announcement of earnings after the bell. Came in very weak. And you might think to yourself, like, oh my gosh, this is horrible. FedEx, super weak earnings, what the heck? But remember, the market wants to see that the economy is slowing down. The market so desperately needs that. So again, if you're fully extended in the market and you're getting crushed out there, you might think like, oh my gosh, we're down another 0.62%. This is horrible. But I'm watching this VPOC down here at 38.68 spot 5. This is a level that we've been discussing at length in our group. And I'm kind of salivating. I hope that we actually get to that level. That would be pretty great. And we have to remember tomorrow's options expiration as well, so things can get a little dicey on OPEX. I would love to buy that level. Let's take a look at the NASDAQ. NASDAQ also trading lower in the after hours. And wow, would you look at that? We're testing these lows that we made in early September. And who knows, maybe tomorrow we undercut those lows. It could get pretty emotional tomorrow if the market starts spilling to the downside. Russell 2000 also down 0.62%. This is pretty interesting. The Russell 2000 is outperforming to the downside. It does not usually do that. Now, for all we know, this thing could play catch up, and all the individual names that have been working, like, Enphase has been pretty okay, Wolf has been pretty okay, Twitter's working okay. A lot of the clean energy stocks, like, they're still working just fine, even though the market's weak. If the small caps start to fall apart, I'd imagine some of those leading stocks, they'll fall apart with it. But for now, small caps are doing better on a relative basis. And then finally our dogs of the Dow. Oh my gosh, the dogs are down. Yeah, the dogs are undercutting the lows. That's kind of interesting. Let's take a look at bonds and see what they are doing in the wake of this FedEx news. I do have a trade on in TLT. One of my trades actually expires tomorrow. So I welcome this news that the economy is actually doing a little bit worse because we could see some money flow into bonds against that backdrop. So we'll have to see, but I feel pretty okay with this news. These 30-year Treasury futures, they're trading a smidge higher in the after hours as well. Let's take a look at the VIX and see where that is. Yeah, and the VIX is kind of just range bound, chopping around in the upper 20s, but there's no real like panic yet. That could be what we need to just get the exclamation point on this sell-off. But for now, we're just taking it one day at a time. Remember, in 2020, we had a 15-day fall sell-off. 2021, we had a 20-day fall sell-off, peak to trough. Beginning, at the opening bell tomorrow, we're going to be on day 22. So we know there's going to be people throwing in the towel, people that are upset, people that are blowing out. And yeah, I feel pretty confident that we're getting to the tail end here. I don't say that as a means of like, yeah, I know we're at the tail end, so I'm just buying new things every day. Like, that's not the case, but I feel pretty comfortable knowing that we're probably going to get a good opportunity on the long side in the coming day or maybe in the coming 2 weeks. So I'm just trying to stay optimistic for that, stay fresh, make sure that the mental capital is intact, and I think that's the best course of action at the moment. With that being said, that about does it for this market recap video. Hope you all had an awesome trading session. As always, we'll see you all tomorrow. Have a good night, everyone.